Yes, guys, how are we doing? I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So it has been a while, admittedly, since I've picked up the camera to record. It's been like a week, and I'll tell you why. So it wasn't because of all the hate I got on my last YouTube video where I turned 29. And if you didn't see all the hate I got, then go back to my last YouTube video and read through the comments if you want a little bit of a giggle. But no, that wasn't it. I haven't been at home crying, wondering why I look so old and wondering why I'm fucked from all the steroids. Actually, I was just absolutely fucking slammed from training, to be honest, okay? So off the back of coming home from Ireland, when we were at the wedding, Kuba wanted me running RIR and doing all those other sort of things, but I was just on such a good run of training that I was going nowhere near reps and reserve inside in the gym. I was just kind of full sending it every single session, and obviously we were doing a little bit of traveling, etc., etc. And it eventually just caught up with me and I hit a fucking wall. So I have actually spent the last couple of days like feeling like a zombie, to be honest. I feel a little bit better today, which is fucking fantastic, which is why I'm picking up the camera to record. Because if I don't pick up the camera to record today, then I'm probably just going to leave it going on and on and on. And then I'm going to be so rusty and so anxious, I'm not going to want to pick up the camera at all. But I know you guys miss me, so I got to deliver on the vlogs. But anyway, we took a couple of days rest, 3 days of forced rest, which was just after I trained push, which wasn't really ideal. So I had my birthday leg day session. That wrote me off the next morning. Then I went in to train push the day after, the rest day after that. And I was like, oh, this is a bad session. I just felt battered, like just body was just fucked. Everything felt like it flamed. My elbows were sore, my knees were sore. And I just had the worst session ever. And in the gym, I just did not want to be there. I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave my session early, etc., etc. And I literally never feel like that. And when I feel like that, it's a telltale sign to me that I need a deload. So I just held my hands up. I texted Cuba. I told him I was being a silly Billy and that I needed a couple of days rest. So a couple of days rest we took. But we're getting back in the mixer now, guys. I was in for pull D volume yesterday. I did actually leave some reps in reserve. I was sensible. And now today we're in to train arms. So all my climb work has been wrapped up today, which is good. It's 20 to 10. I've been go, getting it all done today because yesterday I slept in a little bit in the morning time. I was absolutely fucked. I had physio and a haircut, fresh, booked yesterday morning. So all my fucking client work got dragged out until after I got back from the gym, which wasn't ideal because I ended up at the desk until 7 o'clock at night and I didn't get the best sleep as a result. But you don't give a fuck about that, guys. You don't give a fuck about that. Anyways, something you might give a fuck about is going to be my pre-workout meal here, which, as you know, is Conte cream of rice, the GOAT. We've got some triple chocolate here. Now, the triple chocolate isn't the GOAT, but it is still very good. White chocolate hazelnut is the GOAT. You already know, DMAC 10 for discount. This is looking pretty bland and dry at the moment, isn't it? So we've got to chop up the strawberries, and then we've got to put the old whey sludge onto this. So actually, guys, while I'm on the topic of whey sludge, one thing that you got to make sure you do if you're using a good quality whey protein, okay? Because I know all you cunts out there, you love your Perform proteins and, you know, your garbage proteins with all the xanthan gums and, you know, the milk powder and all that other sort of stuff in it. But if your protein mixes super well and super thick into a sludge straight away the second you put water in, it's probably not a very good quality protein. I'm just going to hold my hands up and say that, all right? If it's very bitty and it doesn't really mix very well, probably is a good protein. I know that might seem counterintuitive, but that's actually the way it is. So in order for you to actually have a thick, nice sludge, what you want to do is, if you've got a good half whey iso, half concentrate, like the Conte Repair Whey, what you want to do is you want to get, I've got 40 grams of whey protein here. I put 60 mils of water in, so 1.5 water to whey ratio. And then I've literally left it in the fridge for like the last 2 or 3 hours. And as you can see here, now it's nice and sludgy, okay? So instead of being very watery and very bitty, you just leave it in the fridge, you let it marinate, and then it gets nice and sludgy. So pro tip for you all there. If you've got any sort of isolate protein and you want to make a good sludge, put it in the fridge for a while and leave it cool down. And actually, if you really wanted to, if you were fucking dieting and you're on prep and you're really hungry, you could just eat this like a pudding. You could do a 1-to-1 water to rice, 1-to-1 whey to water ratio, and you can literally just eat that like a little rice pudding or something of that nature, or a little protein pudding, like an Aldi protein pudding, just without all the sweeteners and the garbage and all that good stuff. So yeah, arm day today, guys. What arm session is it? I'm hoping it's my preferred arm session, my favorite arm day session, because I've got one arm day that I really enjoy, And then another one that, not that I don't enjoy it, but I just really enjoy the other one a little bit better. Okay, it's not the one that I really enjoy, but it's still good. I'm loving the arm days, guys. Have I been making arm progress? Oh, fuck, it's hard to tell, isn't it? It's hard to tell. But hopefully we will we will see a little bit of arm growth by the time we cut back down. But we're entering week 4, or we are. Yeah, we're on week 4. We're halfway through week 4 of the push-up already, guys. That's crazy, bro. Shit's crazy. So we don't have too long left in the grand scheme of things. Well, we do, but we don't, you know? And every week counts. I got that sense of urgency. We've picked out the shows for next year. I know what my timeline is. I know what the plan of action is. I know how many weeks I've got to do what. And the countdown is on, guys. The countdown is on. So anyway, without further ado, because I'm 15 minutes behind on this meal, I'm going to throw this pre-workout meal together. Guys, I'm going to get it into me. I'm going to eat it. And then I'll take you to the gym with me for arm day. Let's go. Back upstairs now to do a little bit of client work before we get ourselves prepared for the gym, guys. I'm currently just working on adjusting some training programming for my client Cormac, who is actually hopping back on board. So myself and Cormac worked together last year, got him in the shape of his life for his Mr. USA win in the pageant, and he's hopping back on board now. So he finished up around, I believe, Christmas time, January time or something like that. But hopping back on board now to do another stint. So absolutely delighted to have Cormac back on board. It's always nice when old clients who have worked with me before in the past hop back on board, just because, you know, their circumstances change or whatever. It's always a good sign that, you know, I'm doing my job properly and people actually want to come back because they're happy with the level of service that they got, and they were just happy with the coaching relationship in general. So always nice to have old clients come back on board. I absolutely love to see it. Cormac is based over in the US, and actually I have had a lot of US clients sign up recently, all people who actually watch these YouTube videos here. So I just want to give a shout out to you guys, and also, I suppose, say thank you to everyone who does actually watch my videos, right? Because I feel like for me, I never really wanted to focus on YouTube to get clients or grow my business, right? I never thought that that would actually happen. But it has. Like in the last 2 months, I think I've gotten like 6 clients come directly from YouTube, 2 from Ireland, and 4 based in North America, which is actually pretty wild to me, right? Because how would I have ever reached those people otherwise if it wasn't for YouTube, and if it wasn't for making these videos, documenting my process, showing my own journey, showing my clients' journeys, etc., etc. It literally wouldn't happen, right? So I'm glad that I do actually make these videos and I do document this journey, and it is enabling me to reach more people and ultimately help more people with their goals, because I love this shit. Like, I'm so passionate about this shit. And even just sitting down now to readjust Cormac's program, and we're sticking with the same split he'd done before in the past, but I was like, bro, whatever gym you're in now, send me over pictures. I'm going to readjust your training program. And that's what I love to do. And all the North American based clients that I've set up over the last couple of weeks, right, they're sending me over the pictures of the equipment that they've got in their gym, and it's just like so satisfying to me, because it's all Prime and Atlantis and all these old school Icarian bits and like Cybex bits, and just stuff that you don't get in gyms in Ireland or even in the UK. So I'm just like a proper nerd. I'm like a kid at Christmas, like just going through all these pictures and looking at all these pieces of kit and like, oh, I can't wait to build out this training program, you know? So it's definitely one of my favorite parts of coaching, is actually training programming. I do really, really enjoy it. And every client gets a custom training program, a real custom training program. It's a little bit of a pain in the hole for them when I'm like, send me over pictures of every single piece of kit you got in your gym, bro. And they're like, but my gym is massive. I'm like, yes, send me over the pictures. Sometimes people send me over like 60, 80 pictures, and I do spend the time to go through it, make a note of everything, and make sure that I have their training program specific to all these individual brands and pieces of kit. So yeah, effort goes a long way, guys, when it comes to coaching. I do feel like a lot of people are just in this for a quick buck. They just throw out cookie cutter plans. They do cookie cutter check-ins. They do cookie cutter everything. But I think if you really are passionate about it, you wouldn't even be able to do that. Like, I wouldn't even be able to just give something to someone that is very generic, because it just doesn't feel right, and that person just isn't going to get results. And results is what people are paying you for at the end of the day, you know? So yeah, look, I'm off on a tangent there. That was a little bit of a rant, but guys, on the coaching front, if anyone else is watching, no matter where you are in the world, there's always going to be space on board Team Ignite for you if you are interested in working with someone that actually is very passionate about what they do and actually cares and actually will get you results instead of just taking your money and patting you on the back and telling you everything's fantastic and not holding you accountable when you need to be held accountable, you lazy motherfucker. But anyway, we'll do a little bit of programming here and then I'll catch up with you downstairs for the pre-workout ritual / routine / substance consumption. All right, guys, so pre-arms, pre-workout, we pretty much throw the kitchen sink at it. So first of all, I have got my black coffee here. So I'm going to sip on this. I always have this about 20-30 minutes before I actually head to the gym, just to make sure the caffeine is actually in my system. And then just before we head out the door, I will down this concoction here, which is 1 scoop of the Mega Pump and 1 scoop of the pump. So why do I take 1 scoop of each? Because the pump actually has some taurine and some pink Himalayan salt in it. So that's like going to just help with kind of like hydration and kind of pump. Whereas the Mega Pump obviously has all the nootropic ingredients on it as well. And then both have L-citrulline. So I get a double dose of that and I get a tremendous pump. Look at the head on that yolk after I have whisked it up. So I'll drink that probably, you know, after I have the coffee and again about like 15-20 minutes before I head to the gym. And then just before we head out the door, I will actually pin my biceps with 1/2 ml of this turbocharged. Now this turbocharged is more so for endurance than it actually is for pump. I need to get on the turbo swole, which is specifically made for the pump, but I still do get a pretty good pump when I take that turbocharged. So there is L-carnitine, L-arginine, and adenosine triphosphate in that. And I think it's just really the placebo effect / sensation of putting 1/2 ml in each of my biceps that just helps me connect to them a lot more and get a lot more blood flow in there. So yeah, I've been pinning my biceps pretty much every single arm day. I don't want to pin my triceps because I have had some dodgy pins in my triceps before that almost got infected. So ever since, I've been a little bit paranoid about about pinning my triceps, and I don't think my triceps are that bad. Again, they're not good, but they're not that bad. But my biceps are terrible, and they're the ones that need the TLC. So they're the ones that I pin. But I'm going to sit down now, guys, and I'm going to watch some YouTube, drink this coffee, get into athlete mode, just watch someone, training arms or training legs or something along those lines. And then we'll hit the road, get to the gym for about 11 o'clock and train. Yes, my people, here we are. So, exercise numero uno for today's session, the good old dumbbell lateral raise. So, as you will know, I subbed out the prime lateral for the good old dumbbell lateral here about 2 sessions ago, and honestly, this has been going down a treat. Coming in fresh and literally starting off, just whacking out some dumbbell lateral raises. Honestly, I feel like I get so much out of my delts doing these. So I try not to go too heavy. On the top side, I'll go at like 16 kilo dumbbells, which I feel like any heavier than that, you're kind of getting to the position where like you're kind of losing pump and losing sensation in your shoulders, and you're just like moving the load. I mean, I can move it, I can do 18, 20 kg dumbbell lateral raises, but I don't feel like I could control it as much on the way down and stop and initiate with the shoulders on the way up and just connect with my delts as good as I can when I go a little bit lighter. So I kind of pyramid down here on this, and then the last set is going to be just drop set to death. Rest pause to death, drop set to death. What did I do the last day on this? I think I did 16 for the top set for 14 reps, 14 for 14, and then I did 10 for 17 with shitloads of rest pauses, and I'm pretty sure then I picked up like 6 kilo dumbbells after that and just went So we're going to show you that. I'll do my set of 16 first, but I'll show you the final set, the drop set, the rest pause set to death, and then take you through the rest of the session, which is going to be a short and sweet one today, guys, but it's arm day, so it is what it is. I need to actually take my phone out of my pocket because it's going to get in the way of me actually doing this, which is not ideal, not what we want. Lovely stuff. 1 rep up from previous session, and I could have pushed it a little bit harder, but I won't. We're actually meant to be leaving a rep in reserve since we're
coming back from the old deload, devolume, rest day, whatever you want to call it, being buried in a hole. But for the sake of a couple of sets of delts and arms, I don't think we need to leave too many reps in reserve today. I feel like I should be fine for this session. But tomorrow, for legs, definitely gonna have to be on my best behavior, that's for fucking sure. Go. Fuck me. Just realised my mic was off. It's not ideal. Alright guys, next up we've got the dual D-handle bicep cable curl and tricep push down superset. One of the goats, you just simply can't beat this, especially from a time efficiency standpoint, because it's just so easy to just move the D-handle up and down the cable stack, go from one set to the other, and I do quite like training antagonistic muscle groups, is that what they call it? When you're just training opposite muscle groups, you get a good pump overall in your arm. Show you the top set here, 59.3 kg, aiming for 12 plus reps. Arms are feeling actually pretty well recovered today, to be honest. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to progress all of these sets across the board. Let's go. One rep up, 13, and we'll go for a big jump with the triceps. 86.3, so not far off the full stack. But my triceps are pretty strong, to be fair. Reps. Happy with that, it's pretty decent. Right guys, next exercise up, we've got crossbody cuffed tricep extensions. And of course, I'm using my hard body adjustable cuffs. So I've got these in a new colorway, in the red. These are actually mega, I must say. So 4 new colorways in these. You've got a red, you've got a winter white, you've also got the original black, and then you've got the purple and the pink. So guys, pick yourself up a pair of these. These sold out in 12 days. The last time they went live on the hard body website. And I'm not surprised because they're absolutely mega. Definitely my favorite product on the whole entire hard body website. I literally use these for absolutely everything since I'm after getting them. I use them for all my tricep isolation exercises, overhead and push down, and I use them for all my delt isolation exercises as well. Blind cuff laterals, single arm cuff lateral raises. If you are a female, you can use these for your kickbacks as well around your ankle. That's kind of why they were designed in the first place, because they're like a lot smaller than the original cuffs. But I really like them because they're very easy to grab in your hand like this. And then also they fit around your wrist really well. And you can just clip and unclip them. You don't have to like take your wrist out of the cuff and put it back into the cuff. You can literally just leave the cuff on your wrist and you don't even feel it there. So these are absolutely mint for crossbody cuff tricep extensions. So that's what I set up on this prime cable stack here. Very, very easy to do. So all I literally do is just whack these on here. Just grab one in each hand and then just boom, do a push down. So I forgot to actually change the weight there. So that was way too fucking heavy, but I'll put the weight that I'm actually supposed to lift here for this, 55, and we'll do a set. What a tune. I love where you've been. Oh. Oof. All right, guys, the last exercise up, we've got a dual D-handle cable curls. I'm doing this on the prime cable stack. We're doing this for our LinkedIn bias. So we set the cables up around knee height so that it's pulling from behind us here like this. So we don't want to come up really low to height and bring our hands nice and high and our elbows up high. We literally just want to do like a drag curl like this. Okay, so just focusing on making it heavier in the stretch position. Arms are fully blown at this stage. So 3 sets of this and we should be wrapped up. Now, normally I do this before I do my cuff tricep extensions, but honestly I've been finding that like even after one bicep exercise in my arm days, by pinning my biceps, they're absolutely fucking pumped. So I'm actually having to do the tricep exercise beforehand today, and I'm glad I did because that went absolutely fine, and it's given my biceps a little bit of time for the blood to kind of leave them before I jump into this set now. So hopefully you can see me and I'm not too zoomed out. Oh, beautiful. 2 reps up. I must say, guys, at the moment, I now really look like I'm back on cycle again. I actually look like I take drugs. I am looking full and round once again. So you always know when you look at yourself, when you have that fullness, when you have that pop, you have that like hardness, it's very vascular, you're a little bit more grainy. You got that on cycle look. So coming on to week 4 on cycle now, it's normally between week 3 to week 5 that I really start to notice visually that I'm on cycle, back on cycle. And also when I really start to feel the performance and the recovery like actually pick up as well. I feel like it's that week 3 to week 5 mark. So yeah, we're obviously just halfway through week 4 now. So by next week should be lift off, guys. And next week we also have another little bit of a cycle progression. So week 1, week 3, week 5, week 7, and week 9. All cycle progressions. So titrating up very quickly this time around to hit peak dose, and then we'll be at peak dose for like I think 16 weeks, maybe a little bit less, before we just hold and cruise for a little bit before we start prep. So not on cycle as long as I was last year, and in a much healthier position than I was going into my push-up before prep last year. So very happy, very happy. Very happy where the blood work is at, very happy where the health is at, very happy with how the physique is looking. And I'm just really fucking excited to see like how much progress can I actually make in this push-up, because I was looking back at pictures of me from a year ago, and around this time last year I was just finished my mini cut with a couple of weeks, and honestly guys, like I got to the end of that mini cut and I was like 98.55 kg, so not too far off where I was on stage this year, and I looked shit. Like I looked completely different. I looked half the size. It's actually wild how shit I looked at 98.55 kg last year. And to think that like I was nearly that exact same way, but I just looked like I looked like, obviously, you know, I look good because I won a fucking overall, right? So that was in the space of one push-up that I made all that progress. And I've got one push-up now again that we're literally doing the exact same thing that we did for the last push-up round. And I'm like, fuck me, if I take that much of a step up again, this push-up, as I did that previous push-up, you know, I really do fucking think I'm gonna be there, I'm gonna be very close. So that's the mindset. And I've been trying to speak to myself quite a lot lately and tell myself that I need to start being very confident. Not obnoxiously confident, but almost a tad delusional in a way. I feel like if you are going to turn pro, you need to believe you're going to turn pro, right? I'm a big believer that where the mind goes, the body will follow. And, you know, the law of attraction and all that fucking sort of jazz, you know, I know that's a little bit woo-woo for some people, but you can't just manifest something happening, manifest something into reality without putting in the work required to get there, right? But if you have a vision for what you want to achieve, you fully believe that you can achieve that, and you put in the work on the daily, it's almost like you will get more progress and your body will respond better because you just believe. You know, it's like, that sounds so woo-woo, but it's like, this last prep, I really seen the impact that stress can have on your physique. If you stress out, it literally ruins your physique. It can change your look so much. And that's so weird, right? Because that's something mental that's manifesting itself physically. So if stress can ruin your look like that, what can the opposite do? What if you're not stressed? What if you're confident? What if you believe? What if you think you're capable of making massive progress? What if you think you're capable of making all these crazy increases in your strength or your size or whatever? I'm like, what does that do internally? How does that manifest itself physically into your performance, your training, your progression, etc.? Do you know what I mean? I'm like, there has to be something to that. Sounds very woo-woo, but there has to be. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Getting back to what I was actually trying to say here, I need to have a little bit of almost Nick Walker about me going into next year. I need to have a little bit of kind of delusional self-belief that like, I'm going to turn pro. That's it. This is the year. It's going to happen. No one is standing in my way. And I need to just like speak to myself like that every single day, every single week, every single session in the off season when I'm coming in here. Next year's the year. It's going to happen. I'm going to make the progress I need to turn pro. No one's going to touch me next year. I'm going to be that good. You know, I feel like whether it happens or not doesn't matter. But having that belief and telling yourself it's going to happen, and then putting the actions in place that you need to get you one step further along towards that goal, that's what just needs to be done. I didn't really wrap up that point very well. I'm kind of rambling now, but you get what I'm trying to say. If you're watching this video, you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's going to be the memo for the rest of the year, guys, and that's going to be the memo for 2026. I'm going to have to believe, and I'm going to have to say it outrightly. I'm going to have to speak it into existence, like Nick Walker says, you know? I have to tell people I am going to turn pro this year. I have to say it out loud. I have to believe it. I have to say this is my goal. This is what I'm going for. I'm going to turn pro at this show, or I'm going to try and turn pro at this show. And obviously, look, we can't control who shows up the day, and we can think we're going to turn pro, and some other guy could come up and he could smoke us, and we're only as good as we are good. But I think the belief can go a long way. And I know I can turn pro. And it does depend on what the lineup is like on the day, and whether there's guys there that are, you know, worse than me or not, or whether I'm better than other guys. It all obviously depends on that. But yeah, you have to believe. You have to believe. And as the weeks go on, I will start to believe that a little bit more. Right, time to wrap up these last two sets. Stop talking shit and get home and eat our post-workout meal. Yes, gang, how are we doing? Welcome home. We're back in the kitchen. We're rustling together our post-workout meal, which is going to be half of my pineapple and berry medley that I've got here, and then also 100 grams of rice with 200 grams of chicken, and then I've got a little bit of the Mayflower Southern Fried Gravy Mix. Elite condiment. If you know, you know. So we'll have that. We'll go for some quick digestion steps afterwards, and then honestly, guys, man could go for a fucking nap, but I need to sit myself back down the desk, or I just will not get the rest of my client work and messages done for the rest of the day. Good session all around. I definitely felt like the endurance started to flag a little bit towards the end of the session. Not my muscular endurance, but just like my energy levels. I feel pretty fatigued, I'm not gonna lie. I feel pretty fucking wrecked now. I don't know, am I actually like sick or something? Because I'm really like out of breath. Like even in the morning when I'm like doing my vacuums and stuff, I've been fucked the last couple of days. Like I'm like trying to hold a vacuum for a while, and I'm like heaving out my chest, and even like checking photos, hitting my shots and stuff like that. I'm just way more out of breath than I feel like I normally should be, especially at this weight. This isn't like heavy for me. I'm still pretty lean.
So yeah, I don't know, am I just like a little bit sick, to be honest. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter. We crack on anyway, guys. We do what we need to do. 2 minutes left of my chicken, so I'm going to eat my fruit, sit down, chill out, watch a little bit of YouTube for a while, and I'll catch up with you later on, guys. Just en route to the train station to collect Chloe from work. One thing I will say that I'm very thankful for today is that the temperature seems to have dipped a little bit. Now, my car is still telling me 22 degrees, and so is my watch as well, but it just feels like it's a lot cooler today. You know, the sun isn't splitting the stones, I'm not sweating profusely, it doesn't feel like this inescapable heat and humidity that I have going on, and honestly, it's getting me really fucking excited for the winter, I'm not gonna lie. I went for my walk this morning and I had a jumper on and I was like, ooh, I was still pretty warm when I got back from the walk. I was sweating, but it was nice to like put the jumper on and be like wrapped up. I kind of like being cozy, being wrapped up, you know, like having a hoodie on or having like 2 or 3 layers on, having your tracksuit pants on, and just like being cold but being warm because you have the layers on, you know. I hate being like in a pair of shorts and a tank top like this and be sweating profusely through it and just feel like it's inescapable, and I just can't get rid of it. That's why I kind of hate to live in like a really hot, humid climate. To be honest, I can't imagine just like never wearing a jumper or like a tracksuit pants and just like not having seasons, if that makes sense, and it just being warm year round. But yeah, that's just me. I always put up like stories on Instagram every winter as well, and I'm always like, oh, I'm so glad to, you know, see the temperature drop and it not be sunny and blah blah blah. And everyone probably thinks I'm lying, that I'm just like talking through my arse or whatever. Like, oh, how could you not like the heat and the sun and blah blah blah. But surely I can't be the only one out there who just prefers the colder weather. And even as far as seasons go, guys, I prefer the winter. I used to be a summer guy when I was younger, when I was a kid, you know, because I'd be off school and all that other sort of stuff. But as I've gotten older, I've really started to appreciate the winter months. Don't know what it is. And like, I kind of like the dark, and I kind of like the shorter evenings, and you know, obviously Christmas is just like, Christmas is fucking best time of the year, right? So I just feel like I'm such a winter guy, and I can't wait now until it gets a little bit darker, a little bit colder, a little bit cozier, and I'm not sweating buckets 24/7. So that's all I had to say anyway, guys, on my journey down to the train station to collect Chloe. So thanks for listening, and if anyone is in the same boat as me and feels the same way that I do, then drop it in the comments down below. Yes, boost that algorithm. I have to say something every single video, guys, to get you to drop a comment down below. Something that might be a little bit controversial, that people may or may not agree with. My last video got seriously algorithm boosted, but that was just because everyone was abusing me, saying I looked 49 years old. So, you know, less abuse, guys, more, well, I was going to say positivity, but it mightn't be very positive. Negativity just sells, doesn't it? Negativity just is the one. Negativity gets the views and the publicity and everything else, and you know what they say, guys, there's no such thing as bad publicity, and exposure is exposure. So if you do want to be a troll and leave negative comments, then actually fire away down below, because it only benefits me at the end of the day. Gets them views up, know what I'm saying? There she is now, boys. I have to give you your weekly dose of sea chisel, otherwise people will be leaving comments being like, where's Chloe gone? When's Chloe getting back in the vlogs? I do actually get messages, believe it or not, and comments based off that. Yeah. So Chloe, you need to get back. You need to get back in the vlogs. Here she is though, lads. I was actually just telling them on the way down here, Chloe, because you know it's a little bit of a cooler day today. We were only saying earlier how that's been very enjoyable for us, and I was saying I can't wait for the winter and the colder days. I can't wait for the tracksuit on. And yeah, see, this is why we're soulmates, guys. I was literally only just on about this. I was like, can't wait to just be fucking wrapped up in like 3 layers, wearing a tracksuit, just the whole shebang. Don't know how like people like live in a warm climate 24/7 where they just never wear tracksuit pants. It's just weird. But yeah, I was just saying how I'm just like a winter person, especially as I'm older. I just like the Christmas, I like the cold,
the heat, and like the warmth. If there's a pool near me, but if it's like I'm in work, in an office all day, go on my lunchtime walk, sweat, sit on my desk, smell.
But see, like Ireland and the UK, it wouldn't be as bad if we just had aircon everywhere. But for some reason, we're one of the only countries that just doesn't do aircon. You know, we just don't do aircon. It's like when you're over in the US and it's warm like this, like everywhere you go inside, it's all air conditioned, right? And like that makes it so much more bearable. But when there's no air conditioning anywhere, it's just inescapable, the heat, and it's just not very pleasant. No. So yeah, that's basically it.
What's our plan of action now for the evening,
I'm
Chloe?
going home, going to have a cry. And then...
Chloe's depressed at the moment.
I'm depressed.
Yeah.
It's just the 9 to 5 is getting to me, guys. It's killing me at the moment. It's just making
Working 9 to 5.
miserable.
Yeah, I told her when she started working that job, I was like, give it a couple of years, it's gonna suck the life and soul out, yeah.
I don't know how how do people do this until retirement is my question. And like I said this to Dara the other day as well, it's like I should be happy. I work in like a really good company.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
But it's just the horses for courses, different things for different people. And I'm big on, I only actually had a conversation with one of my clients, Maeve, earlier today. Maeve, if you're watching this, big ups, shout out to you. And I was just like, you gotta live life in your own terms, you know, because she's been over in Spain for the summer. Now she's going back to Ireland and back into her teaching job and stuff, and she's like really just sad to be basically living or leaving that environment that she feels like she thrives in. And I was just like, well, go home, save up, you know, move back over, put yourself in that position. There's no reason why you can't do that. And you know, especially with everything that I've kind of done in my life over the last couple of years, I feel like I'm constantly just trying to put myself in a better position, because why not? You know, someone has to do it, so like, why not you? You know, like, you can, everybody, anyone who's watching this video, if you're not happy with your life situation now, whether it's your job or your relationship or your this and that, you can get out of that. Like, is it going to happen overnight? Is it going to be easy? No. But you are in complete control of your life. Like, you decide what your situation is. And people get comfortable, they get stuck in a job or a career or a relationship or a place, whatever the case may be, they just don't know how to get out of it. And they come up with every excuse. Oh, but I need to like pay off this loan, oh, but I need to do this, oh, but I need to do that. It's like, yeah, right, you can do all those things, but there is a path out. There is a path towards the life that you ideally want to be living. You've just got to take steps along that path to make sure you set yourself up to live that life. You know, you can live life in your own terms if you want to live life in your own terms. You just got to put in the work, pretty much. So it's as simple as that. So that's what I've been trying to tell the Chloe. It's just saying, like, look, do something fucking different. I'll support you.
Yeah. But the thing with me is, it's just, I don't really know what I want to do at the moment. So it's like, do I go for another corporate role in a different bank? Do I completely change careers? I just don't know.
And this is the conundrum, because nobody knows what they want to do, but that's kind of normal when you're in your 20s. That's the whole existential crisis that I feel like 95% of people in their 20s actually go through, you know. And I feel like I was always the sort of person who kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I was full on convinced that, you know, wanted to like climb the corporate ladder and be a CEO and do all that, and I was gung-ho on that path for ages. And then all of a sudden I completely pivoted, and at the time that was really hard for me to do mentally, more so than anything, because I'd been so driven towards one goal for so long, and I just like completely left it for something else. You get me? And even though it was something that I really enjoyed, it was like this whole, you know, world crushing. It's like my whole idea of what I thought my life was going to be just fell out from underneath me, and I'm like, oh, right, I guess this isn't the thing, this isn't it, and I'm just going to do this now instead. But then I just give that 100% and, you know, worked 100% towards that. And so, you know, you're never going to know what you want to do until you just try different things. And I think the most important thing is that you do try different things, because even if you don't like that thing that you try, at least you know that you don't like that, and that is just as valuable as knowing what you do like. So
I think the place where people get stuck is like, what I do, I don't not like it, it's just too boring.
Yeah, that's it. There's not enough pain for somebody to make that decision to leave. It's just a little bit of pain, but it's like too much comfort and it's too easy. And it's the same in relationships, the same as everything, and that's just why people get stuck. But I've always been a, you know, never be satisfied, never settle sort of a person. You know, I don't want to settle for mediocre, I don't want to settle for average, I don't want to settle for okay, and this is a good life. I want a fucking great life. I want to just maximize everything. And look, you're going to have seasons of your life where you just kind of gotta do certain things to get to where you need to be. Obviously, like, we're living in Rotherham right now, which isn't the fucking nicest place in the world, right? But this is kind of facilitating me to live in a box towards a big long-term bodybuilding goal of mine of turning pro, which I've just fucking spoken about earlier in this video. So, you know, if that comes to fruition, well, won't the 3 years that I've spent over in the UK and the 2 years that I've spent here have been worth it? Absolutely. And then I can move on and can do something else, because I have a long life ahead of me, guys. I'm only 29, despite all you cunts who think I look 49. I'm in the prime of my life. I haven't even peaked yet. Is that right, Chloe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, as long as my missus...
look a day over 50.
As long as my missus thinks I haven't peaked yet, then that's all that matters to me.
He's only got better with age, guys. Should have seen him when I first started seeing him.
That's actually true. It's actually true. So Chloe didn't sign up for a natty boyfriend, so I feel like the bigger I get, the more attractive to me she gets.
Yeah, he sent me a photo of him when he was young the other day. He looked like a little pedo. So.
I sent her a photo of when I was on my travels in America, like in 2016. I'll put it in this video, I'll pop it up here, right? And she thought I looked like a pedo because I had like, you know, a little 5 o'clock shadow on my mustache. And yeah, it's actually crazy how young I look there.
His hair was kind of ginger as well.
But the thing is, like, I do look incredibly younger. I had literally just turned 20, or was I even 19 in that photo? I could have even been 19. It's like, I'm a fucking kid, you know what I mean? Obviously I'm going to look a lot younger, but yeah, we've come a long way since then, boys. We've grown, that's for sure. But boy, did I get fat on that trip. You can see there in my face, it's like a little bit pudgy. The fattest I ever was in my life, which wasn't even really that fat. I've never let myself get that out of shape. But I'll pop a photo of that in there as well. I'll show you the before I went to America, when I got absolutely peeled out of my mind for the first time in my life. And then I'll show you the after I got back from America, when I was fat as fuck. I think I gained like 8 kilos, which all in all isn't like a crazy amount of weight, but still quite a lot. 8 kilos in 10 weeks. And to be honest, it was probably 10 kilos. I think I actually lost weight before I got home because I was so broke. I could only eat like 1 Chipotle a day. So, yeah. But anyway, guys, that was fucking long enough of a ramble.
That was a very long ramble.
And a car talk. Chloe's sick of listening to me now. She just wants to go home, get in, get her creamy, and just crawl up on the couch. So that's what I'm going to let her do.
Any
guys,
recommendations for a series for us? Please let us know.
Yeah, we need to get a good TV series, guys. Drop them in the comments down below. Like, give us a good series.
And the girls watching, I've started Desperate Housewives. Again, this is my second time watching it. I haven't watched it since I was like 16, so it's brilliant. It's good for background noise.
Yeah, and anytime I come downstairs, I just fucking turn the thing off. But anyway, any series recommendations, guys, good ones that you think we haven't seen, then drop them down below. Thank you very much for watching, as always, guys. Make sure you drop the video a like as well as commenting down below, which I know you probably won't do, but if you do, I appreciate you. And let's try and get these vlogs a little bit more regular now over the next week or so, now that I'm not hanging out my arse like a zombie anymore. So, happy days. And we've got a good bit coming up over the next 2 months. We're going home in a month's time, and then we're going on holidays a month after that. So there will be something on the channel to show you. But we'll try and just get the Groundhog Day boring weeks as interesting as we possibly can in the lead up to those events for the next while. So guys, I'll wrap that up. I'll leave that there. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.